So, we'll talk a lot today about the grid. The grid. Someone said, are you ever going to talk about the vortex again? No, we just like the grid now. The vortex is the holding pattern where all that you've asked for is. The grid is your vibrational stance, and when you strike it right with who you are, when you strike that vibrational stance with the core of who you are, and therefore everything that you've put into your vortex, then everything that is in your vortex that is wanted flows in. Your grid fills in with what you call manifestations. The grid fills in. The grid fills in. It fills in with an emotion first. It fills in with thought. It fills in with impulses. Then it begins to fill in with dialogue from others. It fills in, it fleshes out into what you call manifestation. So there are a couple of things that we want to establish at the beginning of this discussion about the grid. First, it is powerful, it's who you really are, it is emanating, it's not hard to find, look for it. And second, don't try to fill it in yourself in any way other than establishing a vibrational pattern within you that allows all of the pieces, all the exquisite, specific, deliberate pieces that you put into your vortex to flow into your experience. And those who are watching you, who don't really understand this, they'll be amazed at what they see. Because they will notice that you're always stable, you're feeling good, and that everything you want flows to you. They'll say, who are you? Who are you? How is it that you just establish an idea and it just flows to you as if to say, here, beloved one, is this what you had in mind? They'll say, that's just freaky. And you'll say, felt a little odd at first to get everything I want as fast as I want it. But after a while, I started to get used to it. I started to realize that that's sort of why I'm here. I'm here to decide what I want, to achieve vibrational alignment with it, and then to witness the grid filling in, witness the manifestational evidence of my focused point of attraction. Really good. So, you have some things you want to talk about? All right, then, we enjoyed visiting with you. It's nice to know that as this gathering unfolds, that everything that's on your mind will be addressed. It is our promise to you. Now think about someone like that who has been living and flowing into the vortex, sending the rocket, sending the rocket, sending the rocket, surrounding themselves with others who have stimulating ideas. So sending off the rocket, sending off the rocket, sending off the rocket, sending off the rockets. Attending forums, talking with people in the know, having stimulating conversations, all satisfying and stimulating, but in the process giving birth to rocket, 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 rocket. And then somehow finding alignment with what they've created in their vortex and the idea flowing. An idea that when the idea flows, they feel the magnitude of it. You can't feel the magnitude of a little idea. That's why step one matters so much. You want to parlay your vortex into high-flying, really strong, powerful desires. And then when you come into alignment with that, the magnitude of the feeling lets you know without any doubt that you have an idea that is worth pursuing. Nothing can keep you from following up on an idea like that. And then, of course, the ideas come and come and come and come. We're not just talking about an idea. The success of those that you are speaking of didn't come from one idea. They didn't just stumble on an idea and then set it into motion. Those ideas kept coming and kept coming and kept coming. Right place, right time, right place, right time, right place, right time, right place, right time. Kept coming and coming and coming and coming and coming and coming and coming. There are thousands of decisions that were made and are still being made in the process of that evolution of that, you see. We want you to think of the fun, and this is so what we want you to hear. Because this is what most people don't know about those people that you are talking about. Because most people who are standing on the outside of a creation like that think that, they just stumbled on an idea and then their fun started. Their fun started long before that idea hatched. They were having fun in the sifting and sorting. They were having fun in the speculation. They were having the fun in the picking the minds of others. They were having fun in the dreaming of what could be. They were having fun in the launching of the rockets. They were having fun in the tuning themselves into the alignment of it. You see, it's not just the culmination of something, because there never is a culmination. It looks like that to you if you're on the outside of it. Bam! It looks like boom! It just happened for that person. But the fun is in the molding of the energies, you see. It would be like someone creating a magnificent statue, and you say, oh, it must be really fun now that this is complete. And any artist would tell you, not that much fun now. Sort of done with that. But I'd sure like to show you the clump of clay I'm working on now. Say, well, that clump of clay doesn't look like much. I know, but this is where all the fun is. It's where all the fun is. The fun is in the becoming. The fun is in the discovery. The fun is in the alignment. The fun is in the new idea. The fun never stops, you see. It never stops. And so those people that you're speaking of, they still are flowing. They still are adding to it. And if they're not, then their whatever it was that they created is diminishing. And what we're wanting you to understand is that, yes, of course, you know what you don't want, but you also know what you do want. And the art of allowing, which is what we call these seminars, is about utilizing your emotional guidance system in order to recognize which end of the wave you're on every subject in the world. In other words, you, in the living of life and in the sorting through the contrast, you have launched a myriad of never-ending desires. And those desires are being held in a vibrational escrow by the larger part of you, who remains always on the knowing what I do want end of the vibrational stick. So you sort of understand, don't you, that you are more than you see here in these physical bodies? You are vibrational beings. You are source energy in physical form. You were non-physical energy before you expressed yourself here in this physical body. But when this you that you know as you was born into this magnificent physical body, the larger part of you still remains non-physically focused. Over time, man has tried to define that part of you. Sometimes you call it soul, or source, or God. We want you to understand that no matter what you call it, the larger part of you will always be non-physically focused, and the larger part of you will always be the holder of the leading edge desires that you have launched from your physical experience. In other words, sometimes physical humans have it backwards. They say, oh, non-physical is source-like, and it's all finished because it's not coming forth to suffer anymore. It's not coming forth to strive or to progress. And here we are, humble humans that we are, here serving our whatever it is, and learning and growing or climbing the karmic wheel or whatever. And hopefully we'll be able to prove ourselves worthy enough that we can return to heaven and never have to come back to earth again. And we say, you could not have it more screwy, because you are source energy, you are eternal beings, you are non-physical energy, and you love to send a part of that which is you into a leading edge experience where the environment can evoke from you new ideas of expansion, the evolution of all that is, not just the species on your planet, the evolution of all that is happening because of this leading edge time-space reality that you are focused within. So as you come forth and you are exposed to contrast and you know what you don't want, rockets of desires exude from you. And the non-physical part of you, that larger eternal part of you, rides that rocket and holds steady to that vibrational frequency. Now you're constantly amending it, but the source within you constantly holds to your new decisions. And every negative emotion that you ever feel, every single one, you or anyone you know, is because you have in your physicality expanded vibrationally to a new place. The larger part of you is holding to that new vibrational latitude, but negative emotion within you means you're not keeping up. You expanded, but your thoughts are still focused upon the contrasting environment that caused the expansion. It's like someone going to their mailbox, finding more bills than they can pay, feeling awful about it because they want to be responsible and keep their promises. They actually feel fear because they are focusing upon the exact opposite of what they want. They want prosperity. They're focused on the opposite of it. They want to be responsible and keep their commitments. They're focused upon not being able to do that. So as they focus on this reality, they feel negative emotion. Negative emotion, not because they're focused upon reality. Negative emotion because the reality that they're focused upon has them offering a different vibration than their desire. So they take the emotional hit, and we say, fine, nothing wrong with that, because in that exaggerated moment, you launched more rockets of desire. You asked for even more prosperity. You asked for even more ability to keep your promises to the financial lenders. You launched even more rockets to keep your commitments to yourself. You launched even more rockets, but are you following the train of those rockets? Are you making an effort to think about how nice it will be when the money catches up with the vibration? Or are you beating the drum, it's been this way too long? It's hard. I don't like this. It's not fair. It's that one's fault, and that one's fault, and that one's fault, and that one's fault. And we say, you have an option in every moment to lean in the direction of who you really are, or lean in opposition to who you really are. And every time you lean in opposition to who you really are, you feel worse. And every time you lean in the direction of who you are, you feel better. So when we say to you, are you enjoying the contrast of your time and place? If you are over here, if you have practiced yourself into vibrational alignment, if in the moment we ask the question, you're tuned in, tapped in, turned on, in perfect vibrational alignment with who you are, when we say, are you enjoying the contrast of your time and place? You say, yes, indeed. Because the contrast of my time and place has caused me to expand way over here with all kinds of wonderful things. And now I've learned to tune myself predominantly into vibrational alignment with those things. I'm living a spectacular life in terms of manifestation, but even more important, I feel great because there's no separation between me and me. But if we ask the question, are you enjoying the contrast of your time and place? And you're standing way over here, launching rockets like crazy, but not lining up with them. I know what I don't want. 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 Abraham, you've got to be crazy. Are you kidding? Why would I enjoy this contrast? This contrast sucks. Why would I enjoy being over here in a body that doesn't feel good, or in an experience that doesn't feel good? Why would you ask such a question? And we say, we ask the question because we know the benefit of your contrast and your asking. And we know also that the most exhilarating moments of your life experience are those moments between having launched a rocket and not being up to speed with it, but turning and going. That's where exhilaration is. That's where enthusiasm is. That's where passion is. We want you to leave this gathering remembering the power of this cooperative gathering of components. And we want you to have one thing on your mind, and only one thing on your mind, and that is, am I in this moment, in this red hot moment of this emotion that I'm feeling, am I a cooperative component to my vortex? And if that will be the dominant question that you ask, then you will have an easy answer, because your emotions will let you know if you're a cooperative component or if you're still a holdout. And if you should discover in a moment of not positive emotion, but in a moment of negative emotion, that you are not a cooperative component, now you know exactly what to do. Just reach for thoughts that feel a little better. Reach for thoughts of relief. Tell the story in any which way, kind of way that you can tell it. Give yourself the benefit of the doubt. Look for reasons to praise. Look for reasons to appreciate. But find some way right now to get yourself in the vortex. And be like we were together with these people who sat here in the hot seat today. Don't give up on it just because the thought doesn't come immediately. Stay with the concept that you're going to get in the vortex. I'm 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 going to get in the vortex because that's who I am. I'm going to get in the vortex because that's where I belong. I'm going to get in my vortex because that's where all the good stuff is, but I'm going to get into the vortex because that's the vibrational resonance that is truly who I am. And as you play this game just for a little while, people who are watching you, whether they're in or out of their own vortex, people who are watching you will notice the deftness with which you create your own reality. They will say to you, I just barely heard you commented about that, and here I see you totally involved in it. It seems that you no sooner have to speak it than the universe or something cooperates and presents to you the path for the creation of it.